back from knee surgery, making a return to the Hockey Roos in Europe. Now back at home, the 28-year-old's focus is on Paris, with Olympic qualifiers in August.
The night before a match against China earlier in the year, Mariah Williams was struck down with bad luck.
I just woke up and I felt my knee was locked and had to make the call in the morning to my physio and my coach to let them know that I've hurt my knee.
A week later, she was in surgery and beginning the road to recovery. After 3 long months, she made her return for the Hockey Roos' final 2 FIH Pro League matches against Belgium. Now she's back home, spending quality time with family before the national side embarks on Olympic qualifiers with New Zealand in August.
I think we've made a huge step in terms of our mindset in performing when we need to, so it's really
Williams admitted she hasn't got a home side quarter-final loss last games in Tokyo.
Hit pretty hard.
After 5 knee surgeries, the 28-year-old says she'll be doing everything she can to compete at her 3rd Olympics, meaning she may feature less for the Pride in the upcoming Hockey 1 season.
My body tends to go a little bit more on the annoying side of things. As you said, just managing, making sure we're hitting targets that we need to hit without overdoing it and pushing my body to a level where it just can't cope.
Adam Murray, NBN News.
With his current deal set to expire at the end of this season, Kurt Mann admits he only has a handful of games left to push for a new contract. He will start with Sunday's clash with the Bulldogs, hoping that the Knights will officially end a painful losing streak.
Mann spent 6 weeks on the sideline nursing an abdominal injury. Since then, he's played 3 games, coming off the bench.
We've got some boys that are doing a good job at 9 and at 13 as well. So, but injuries, and there's been lots of times where I've probably thought I wasn't going to play a certain position, and I have ended up playing there. So anything could happen at the moment.
The 30-year-old knows he'll need to stay injury-free and play a majority of the last 9 games this season if he's going to be in red and blue beyond 2023.
I love the club and love the town. It's kind of like my junior club. I signed a long-term contract when I was 15 with the Knights and stuff. Come up, done all the junior system, and then whisked away after that. So I'd love to stay if I could.
Mann believes the Knights can still make the finals if they fulfil their potential.
We're all pretty connected and we're doing a lot of stuff out in the field as a team. Like today we did a fair bit of attack sort of stuff and that. And so I think if we're not far off is what I'm trying to say. I think we're pretty close. We just got to ice a few opportunities and we'll get there.
Fashionable home. Furniture inspired by nature, crafted for fashion. Comfortable furniture designed for function and built to last. Express your creativity. Breathtakingly romantic. Soft classic elegance with timeless character. Unparalleled attention to detail. Rustic charm with an urban edge. Unique, time-worn furniture designed and handcrafted for vintage lovers. A fashionable home is yours with Domain.
Take advantage advantage of outstanding Audi opportunities during the 2-week demonstrator clearance at Audi Centre Newcastle. Secure your preferred model with the reassurance of Audi's 5-year warranty. There's never been a better time to bring your new Audi home. Audi Centre Newcastle's demonstrator clearance is on now in Hannell Street, Maryville.
Rugby League season, the Wallaroos are pleased to have retained their position in the top 3. They're now looking to win every match ahead of them and are hoping to make a grand final appearance.
Cementing their third position on the Newcastle Rugby League ladder, the Wyong Roos are staying focused ahead of the back end of the season. Captain Coach Mitch Williams says the Roos got off to a flying start, but the score soon became level with a few back-to-back tries scored against them.
I think a little bit of lapse in concentration has led to back-to-back tries a few times against us this year, which has been a bit of an issue. Something we're addressing, something we're working on. But
the Roos were able to finish the match 33-14.
Got out to an early lead. They fought back to 10-all, and then second half, I think we scored 17 unanswered points to seal, a comfortable victory, but against a quality team.
Up against Curry on the enemy's home turf this weekend, Wyong won't be letting their guard down.
For us to be where we want to be at the end of the year, we need to go there and win these games and win comfortably. Play the footy that we want to play and do what we need to do.
For now, Williams is focused on staying in the top 3, which means winning every game until the end of the season.
With the way the draw works now, we know that if we win every game, we can finish top 3 and we'll get 2 chances at finals, which ideally, which is what you want. It gives you the best chance to make the grand final day.
Josephine Shannon, NBN News.
The Ourimbah Razorbacks have jumped to second place on the Central Coast Rugby Union ladder after their 120-point victory on the weekend. They take on third place Terrigal at the Haven this Saturday and are determined not to repeat their mistakes from earlier in the season.
Fresh off one of the largest winning margins ever, the Razorbacks are refocusing ahead of a monster battle this weekend with Terrigal. While the Ourimbah side sit just ahead on the ladder, the Trojans have the home ground advantage.
It's their life members' day. It's at the home, like at the Haven, so they're going to be up for it. It's going to be massive.
The last time the two teams met was in round 3, Terrigal putting 35 unanswered points on Ourimbah. And the Razorbacks are keen to not repeat their performance.
You just can't take them lightly. Like, if we look at the last score they put on us, they pulled their pants down, so we've just got to be up for it.
But say their backline is now firing on all cylinders. Captain Owen Turner and fly half Tane Mann guiding the team around the park.
From those two working together with the right mindset, it just gives us a bit of sort of, spark out back, which is something we've been missing.
With a spot in this year's semis not far out of reach.
For the clientele and cattle we have, a part of the Razorbacks now, we need to be there and thereabouts and really pushing for a premiership.
Kickoff is just after 3 at the Haven this Saturday. Montana Clare, NBN News.
It's been a mixed weekend for Central Coast teams in the weekend's Newcastle Rugby League competition. While the entrants suffered an hour defeat to Central Newcastle, Wallaroos' thrilling 33-14 victory over the Macquarie Scorpions cemented their top 3 spot.
Fresh off a win over the Lakes in round 12, the Roos kept momentum. Opening scoring, Luke Sharp seized the loose ball to plant a length of the field try, putting down another to take the lead to 10. It was 30 minutes in before the Scorpions answered with one of their own. Before the score was level at half-time, 10 apiece. The Roos were first to strike after the break, and while the visitors were quicker to respond, it didn't stop the Roos from storming home. Putting a further 3 tries on the Scorpions. The final score 33-14, seeing Wyong retain a top 3 spot. Meanwhile, Sunday's matchup between the Entrance Tigers and Central Newcastle was much tighter. The game all tied up by the halftime break with 12 points each. With 20 to go, it was level again before the Butcher Boys struck for the final time, sealing their 24-18 win. Montana Clare, NBN News.
In the Central Coast Rugby Union, despite a close match, the Gosford Red Devils have defeated Hornsby 25 points to 17. Meanwhile, the Razorbacks flogged Woy Woy, putting 120 unanswered points on the team.
From the first whistle, it was a back-and-forth battle, the Red Devils hosting Hornsby at the Gosford Showground, but it was the visitors who put first points on the board 20 minutes into the first half. And it wasn't long before the Devils responded with their own, finishing the first half with a 3-point lead. But 9 minutes into the second, the score was all tied up at 10 apiece, before the Devils broke away, cementing their lead with a stunning try in the corner, before hitting back again, taking the lead to 25 points. But Hornsby weren't going down without a fight, crossing with just 1 minute left on the clock. The Red Devils too fiery though, the final score 25-17. And across town, the Razorbacks absolutely dominated Woy Woy, putting 120 unanswered points on the side at Arimba Rugby Park. Montana Clare, NBN News.
17-year-old Ryan Hill-Smith has returned to Coffs Harbour with a new state title under his belt. Competing in Newcastle over the weekend in the state bodybuilding championships, his attention has now turned to his next big event in the Maldives, as Alison Paul explains.
The smile on his face says it all. Winning his first state title.
Pretty good. Just wish the waves were a bit better for it. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty nice.
Taking the title by less than a point.
In the final, it was still pretty close. I think it was .63 was me and the guy who came second.
Back in Coffs Harbour enjoying the school holidays, Ryan's attention is now on the World Junior Tour in the Maldives next month.
I feel like I'm getting ready, pretty close to it, so lucky it's soon. I just want to go there for that experience, but I mean, a win would be a bonus.
Ryan is asking for any financial help with another comp planned in the Canary Islands in October. Alison Paul, NBN News.
There's good news for Coffs Harbour's Jazz Chunkon and Kaya Bowen. They're bound for the United States as part of the Charity Bounce Elite Women's Tour. The pair is heading to Kentucky for the Premier Run for Roses tournament. Jazz, one of only players from regional New South Wales, and Kaya as associate head coach.
This is the moment Jazz Kun learned her hard work on the court had paid off.
So these school holidays, you're going to Kentucky and New York, and you're playing some basketball over in America.
These holidays? Are you serious?
In 2 weeks.
Coach Rob Linton breaking the news to the 16-year-old at school, sharing she'd been chosen in Charity Bounce's elite women's basketball team.
She's a hard-working player. You never have to question her on effort, which is why she's going to make it somewhere in basketball. She's a hard-nosed defender. She's a lot better than what she thinks. I think that's the part that she needs to improve, is her confidence.
Since then, Jazz has knuckled down, continuing to train multiple times a day, and she has a clear goal in mind.
I want to improve on my vision on the court and being more of a playmaker as a point guard.
Her sights set on landing a scholarship and playing professionally.
Obviously the end goal is playing WNBL, WNBA. Obviously at 5'3" it's difficult, but I want to be able to make it there.
there are girls playing everywhere and every girl can hoop. So there'll be a lot of size, there'll be a lot of speed, there'll be a lot of strength, and it will be great for her to see the level of competition over there.
The team's associate head coach Kaya Bowen will work closely with former baller Tracy Williams.
Having played for the Globetrotters and played really high level basketball himself, he's just so much fun to be around, and you learn every training session.
And hopes to pass on her knowledge of the American system.
Just something that I can provide, having played in America myself. Hopefully being able to mentor these girls and hopefully, on their way to getting a college scholarship will be amazing.
The pair will be in the States for 2 weeks, competing in the premier Run for Roses tournament. Britt Ramsey, NBN News.
Anyway, to Group 2 Rugby League, and the South Grafton Rebels have lost their position at the top of the ladder, going down against the Coffs Comets. 2 centre tries helping the visitors secure a 24-18 win.
Coming off 3 losses in a row, the Coffs Harbour Comets didn't get off to a good start at McKittrick Park. A ball fumble giving James Torrin a chance to dart across the line. Minutes later, an intercept by Bennett Bar Reach led to a spectacular length of field run to get the first points on the board for the Comets. The Rebels quick to answer back, followed by back-to-back tries for the Comets, seeing them extend their lead by 8 points. But Aidan Hyland snatched up a wayward ball with just minutes until half-time. The score, South Grafton 12, Coffs 18. A superb pass by Mackenzie Davidson saw Lewis Hall stretch the Comets' lead by 12 points. Jamal Laurie making it look easy, putting one under the posts. But it wasn't enough. The final score, South Grafton 18, Coffs Comets 24. Yesterday's loss sees the Rebels lose their top spot on the ladder, taken over by Cross River rivals, the Grafton Ghosts. 4 teams sit on 10 points, with Woolgoolga not far behind on 8. Alison Paul, NBN News.
It was a one-sided weekend of results in Northwest Aussie rules. Low leaders Inverell notched up another high score against the winless Gunnedah Bulldogs. The New England Nomads are hot on their heels after beating the Tamworth Swans at home.
The Swans' Liam Bramley kicked 6 first, and Tamworth kept the pressure on, before the home side sent the action down to their side of the field. Captain David Richards and Tajo Quaife showed off their long-range accuracy. Fraser Menzies sent the Nomads into the second quarter with the 4-point lead, and the Swans came back firing, before Menzies again leapt into action, and the points began to pile on for the Nomads. The pressure from New England quickly became overpowering, Tamworth unable to hold out what was quickly becoming a blowout. Finishing the first half with a 30-point lead, the Nomads left no room for a Swans comeback, winning by 76 points in player-coach Clarence Barker's 100th match. Grace Nicholson, NBN News.
In round 10 of Group 4 Rugby League, North Tamworth have posted a 16-point win over Keller Dwellers Narrabri, wins 2 for Dungawin and an unbeaten Moree side, while Katingal led from the beginning in a clash against Boggabri.
Katingal Roosters had themselves in the lead 14-4 heading into the last 10 minutes of the first half. And they continued to cross the try line, Braden Jarrett just making it over. With a final try to Katingal in the first half from Logan Howard, the scoreline was set at a punishing 24-4. Coming back, Jack Gilham kept the Kangaroos in with a chance, going wide to score. Jared took his second try of the match. Unable to be contained by multiple defenders, Chris Vidler sealed the win for Katingal. But the Kangaroos had the final say in the clash. Aaron Hobden took the final consolation try. Katingal is now 5th on the ladder, beating Boggabri 34-16. Grace Nicholson, NBN News.
St Albert's remain top of the New England Rugby Union table, beating the Armidale Blues by 24 points. It was a closer contest between the Barbarians and Rob College. Going down to the wire, the Barbars scored a late try to claim their 4th win of the season.
Going straight through the middle of Rob's defence, support play set up the Barbarians for the first points. Working their way over, Rob College struck back and, with a successful conversion, took the lead. Selling a dummy, Edward Pitt broke through Rob's defence again, this time going all the way himself. The scrum half couldn't be contained, going over for his second. Quickly going down the outside, Rob trailed by just 5 points before half-time. The Barbars kept the pressure on. Just as the scoreboard looked like it was going to run away from them, Rob clawed back. Walker Harrison fighting off 3 defenders to level the scores. In the final minute of the match, the Barbars took possession back with a scrum penalty. Jake G. Philippus went wide and scored the match-winning try. The Barbarians victorious 24-29. Grace Nicholson, NBN News.
The Lower Clarence women's tackle team have delivered yet another victory over the weekend against 5th on the ladder Kyogle in this season's Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League Series. The team remain determined to redeem themselves after last year's grand final loss.
Going from strength to strength, Lower Clarence women's tackle team adding another win to their collection. Claiming victory over Kyogle at Byron Bay on Sunday. The final score 42-4, taking the team somewhat by surprise.
Which was really good. You know, we weren't expecting that good of a game.
But the win didn't come easy, matching up for the first time against the Turkeys.
It was a really tough game though. They really good tackles and good hard runs.
Off to a rusty start, giving the opposition some headway.
The first 10 minutes we had it really tough. We had made a lot of mistakes.
But it wasn't long before the Magpies turned it around, banding together to get the job done.
We ended up getting back on the ball with it all and just started flowing after that first try.
Their dominance in defence keeping Kyogle at bay.
I don't know how we did it. We just held them out for so long. We held them out for 50 minutes of the game.
Firmly planted at the top of the ladder, Captain Raya Capine says the girls know a target is on their backs.
Right, we've got to keep working hard to stay there because there are tough teams that it's been close games with.
The Magpies will have a bye this weekend before matching up against Tweed Coast on their home turf the first weekend of July. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
To round 10 of the Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League, and Byron beat Kyogle. Cudgeon fell to Northern United, and there were dominant wins for Moolumbar and the Tweed Coast Raiders. And also, Ballambil got the better of Ballina in the top of the table clash.
A top of the table showdown at the Ballambil East Sports Field. The Blue Jerseys made this break to open the field for Jordan Lee.
That's going to be Jordan Lee.
A conversion upping their score to 6-0 before Ballambil's Hayden Hansen blitzed through the defence.
But it's going to be a feat that's Hayden Hansen.
Neck and neck, the Jets struck again to land on the line with Oliver Regan.
Lachlan Garner on his right side, and that's Oliver Regan.
But this tremendous tumble in the corner from the Seagulls, Fred Pitt,
That's Fred Pitt. He gets over.
saw just 2 points separating the teams. Ballambil's Jack Durheim sent the Jets to the sheds, 18-10.
They're over the line. It's a matter of grounding now.
To the Blue Jerseys' dismay, it was this unexpected line break from Ballambil's Tyson Donnelly to steal the show.
They did the line break there for the Jets.
Standing 24-10, Ballina's Michael Dwayne stealthily manoeuvred his way to the line.
Goes himself from dummy half, Mick Dwayne.
Narrowing the gap, Dwayne soon rounded his second try for the Gulls.
Good eye for a second. I think he bounced that like it was a basketball.
But it wasn't enough. The Jets with the final takings 24-22. Matching up at Lesburg Field, Tweed Coast went toe-to-toe with Mullen-Bimby. The Giants' Thomas Gibson getting the job done in the opening minutes. But the Raiders responded in a pass to land with Josh Bowden to make this dive for the line. A tactical drop kick from the green jersey seen the return of Bowden, taking the side 10-6 at halftime. The Raiders attacked once again, Juan Tarikia to make his try in the corner. The score now 14-6 in Tweed Coast's favour. A strategic push and shove from Tarikia paved his way once more to the post. Boosting the score 20-6, a high kick from the Giants and all-class receive from Thomas Sowerby sealed the deal. 20-10 in the Raiders' hands. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
There was a lot of high-scoring clashes during round 10 of the Far North Coast Rugby Union. Casuarina Beach dominated Ballina, and the Byron Shire Rebels were way too strong for Lismore, while Wollumbar Austinville remain on the top of the ladder after a convincing win over the Casino Bulls.
A showdown at Lyle Park, Wollumbar Austinville going head-to-head with the Casino Bulls. This remarkable breakthrough from Daniel Damon opened the scoring for the home side. Charging again, a pass to Bodie Smith put him into a gap and between the posts. At 14-0, Casino's Muaki Tuone made his move through the defence. But it was the skillful steal from James Vidler that had the crowd on their feet, extended their lead 21-7. Going from strength to strength, James Vidler strutted his stuff once more. This time, a run from Bodie Smith to cross from his second try for the game and sending his team into the sheds with 54 points on the board. The one-way traffic continued in the second half, Rory Collins adding another try to the highlight reel to take Wollumbar into the 70s. A commendable effort from Guanavo, Vakalivi, Dragatana Levu, falling just short of the line. Before tension soon boiled over. A combined effort from the Bulls to get the ball in the hands of speedster Hakeem Terens. Now in double digits, Brandon Gumbleton produced another break for the visitors. But it was all coming up red. Penny Tiatia scored the final try for Wollongbar, closing out the game 80-24. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
Of course, I've got to say, what a huge win. Don't forget, it's round 11 of the Hunter Rugby competition this weekend, which of course is July, and it starts on Saturday. Because of that, Hamilton are up against the Wanderers, while the Students, which is the University of Newcastle, are up against Maitland, while Merewether Carlton are hoping to secure a win over the Southern Beaches. While in round 14 of the Newcastle Rugby League, and Macquarie is up at home against Western Suburbs, so too is Cessnock, who are up against Northern Hawks. Lakes United are up against Maitland, also Koikoi are up against Wyong, while Central Newcastle are up against well-known rivals South Newcastle. The entrance has the bye. Of course, it's round 12 of the AFL Hunter Central Coast, and Nelson Bay is at home where they take on Maitland. Singleton will be back. And of course, they take on Killarney Vale, while Warners Bay is up against Cardiff, and Newcastle City is up against Terrigal Avoca. But meanwhile, it'll be much different. It'll be much different for the women in round 12, with Newcastle City up against Terrigal Avoca, while Muswellbrook is up against Maitland, Gosford is up against Killarney Vale and Cardiff.